Look, it's not going to budge. I told you it wouldn't.
You just need the right mental attitude. Put your back into it.
I've only got one back. I can't put any more in. Why are we doing this anyway?
Because you weren't reviewing games anymore, so we had to pay the bills somehow. Now get pushing.
This is ridiculous. I can't move an entire manor by hand.
Well, that's what these instructions say. Look.
What? This says review move out manor, not move a manor.
What's the difference?
When I was first contacted by Ballister Games to review their new indie title, I was quite intrigued. I'm a big fan of the puzzle action genre, and when I found out that this was based on soko-ban, I was there. The original warehouse clearance puzzle game Soko-ban was developed in 1981 and made its way to the West on IBM PC, Commodore 64, and, eventually, everything under the sun. The plot of the game was rather minimal, and the point was to push boxes into their designated spots. Due to its focused concept, the game was massively popular and spawned an entire genre of games. If you don't know the original Soko-ban, you might be very familiar with Chip's Challenge, another famous game from the same genre. Move Out Manor uses the standard Soko-ban formula for its core gameplay, but it enhances the original with a range of new twists. Whereas before, you had a rigid method of completing each level thanks to the need to not get boxes stuck anywhere, now you can switch places with a box at the press of a button. This opens up a huge number of new routes to success and ensures you don't end up quitting from sheer frustration after one too many wrong moves. The other improvement is the addition of monsters. There are few games that can't be made better with a monster or two, so Move Out Manor has a horror theme to it. You're here to get all the boxes onto conveyor belts, and sometimes you have to even pack the boxes first before you can load them up for clearance. Meanwhile, all the ghosts and zombies that live in the manor you're clearing don't want you messing with their stuff, so you have to be smart and work around them. It adds a lovely new dynamic to the gameplay that means that each time you play in a room, things can go very differently. The monsters, well, they aren't always that smart, so while they do present a definite challenge, their movement styles can be learned, and can be worked around if you keep your wits about you. Ghosts will move back and forth on a set pattern, which means you can easily time them and block them in with a push of a box. That's great for making sure you have a safe movement route through a room. Zombies, on the other hand, they're out for your brains and they mean to get them. They will move quickly towards you in any direction, but they can be slow to change course, so if you time it right, you can still get the jump on them. Now here's the kicker. When I first sat down to review this game, Ballister Games were actively working on an update to Move Out Manor. So by the time I finished the review, they completely changed the game. And I don't mean they've added updates to make a few things tweaked a bit or enhance some runtime or anything like that. Oh no. They've completely changed the core structure of the game to essentially boil it down to its core concepts and then enhance them. This is a completely new experience, and they've changed it for the better. I didn't think it was possible because I really enjoyed the game, but wow, this is even better than it was. What I showed you just now was Move Out Manor version 1. Here's version 2. The first version had best clearance times saved for each room individually. That's all gone. So are the connecting hallways. Now the entire game is one giant speedrun. Portals connect each room to the next, and a new floating skull monster has joined the ghosts and zombies, and it'll keep you on your toes even more than before. Instead of choosing an item to push into the crates to pack boxes, now you have to target the specific item that has been chosen at random from the remaining items on the screen, and that gets you more points. You can avoid it and just go for a different one if you need to, which gives you some options for clearing the game in a faster time, but you won't get as many points. The cursed item with the green highlights, that's the one you go for if you want maximum points. Pack enough items and you fill a box, which then you have to push onto the conveyor belt. This removes some of the potential tactical planning, but it replaces it with a laser sharp focus on your next target and keeps the pace right up. There are no lives, there are no continues, nothing like that. You can end a run at any time and either continue later or start a new one. But if you fail at a run, the game doesn't end, you just play that run again, and your time for completion of the overall run will simply be that little bit longer. Now, it's all about that final time. This super focus on completing in a certain time means that the pace never lets up. This is a frenetic game, and it's really good at focusing you onto gotta get this, gotta get to there, avoid that monster, go to here. It's that kind of game. You're constantly thinking, where do I go next? What do I do? And tap, 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 tap on the keys to get through that. It is a laser focused game. It's fast paced, and now instead of competing just against the monsters themselves and the room overall, you're competing against you and your best time for the whole thing. Why do I hear boss music? Oh, you better believe there are bosses in this game. In the original version, there was one at the end of every block of rooms, but now they arrive with no warning. In the original version, you knew they were lurking. Now, you'll just enter a portal and be thrown directly into a boss battle. It's intense. There are still 3 bosses, but the designs have been tweaked from the original, and you better believe they're even more of a challenge than they were before. These enormous monsters will chase you incessantly across a room, staying hot on your heels at every step. They're out for blood, your blood, and if you don't keep mashing on the movement controls at breakneck speed, they are going to get it. You defeat bosses by packing the target items into the boxes and pushing these boxes onto conveyor belts. Every time a box reaches the end of the belt, the boss takes a hit. Each boss requires a different number of hits to defeat, and when they've been hit, they will be sent zooming around the room. This is your only moment of respite. So enjoy it, because when it's over, the boss is right back to chasing you. You need to keep pushing boxes and keep getting the items as close to the conveyor belt loading bays as you can. There are certain areas on screen and it'll probably jump back and forth as the boss fight goes on. So what I like to do is get as many items packed around that loading bay as I can, so that when the boss has been hit, I can rush over and push 1, 2, probably not 3. It's very unlikely to get even 2, to be honest with you, but try and get as many in as you can before the boss starts its patrol again, because if you don't, you're going to find it a lot harder and a lot longer to try and get through each boss fight. The boss fights are where you will lose a lot of time on your speedrun if you do not plan, like I've just said here. Bosses can be tricky, and this is where the frustration factor really starts to kick in. It took me several hours of trying to finally defeat the last boss in version 1, and version 2 is just as intense. But believe me, he can be defeated, and the level of satisfaction you'll get from doing it is superb. In the end, Move Out Manor is a fast-paced, frenetic puzzle action game, the type of genre that I absolutely love, and once I've finished making this review, I'm going to go and play it a bit more. It's that kind of game. It's from an indie developer, it's got a low price, so it really is worth just grabbing it and giving it a try. You're not even going to lose out that much if you find out that it's not for you, because, like I say, indie developer, low price, good try. However, if you're a speedrunner or a fan of puzzle action games, this is definitely for you. I can see this becoming one of those core games for speedrunners, especially online with a streamer, because you can just go for a run, and if you can do it in under an hour, that's fantastic. If you can't, keep going, you will get there. It's that kind of game. So in the end, I can't give it any less than a complete thumbs up. It's definitely worth a look. Just one moment, sorry. Dude, I'm making a video here, what's wrong?
I really need your help down here.
What have you done now?
Apparently trying to move that manor summoned some ghosts, and they're not happy.
Okay, I'll be right there. Okay guys, that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. Do give this game a try, it's well worth it. Thank you again to Ballister Games for sending it over for review. I've really appreciated it, and I wish you guys all the best with success. But for now, I'd best go, because I've got some ghosts to bust. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk-Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey82, Mo Henry, and George Bortorini. Thank you so much, guys.